Oh, yes. On a Wednesday afternoon, Riger in for Terry. Who's ready to party? We got a lot of stuff to do today. Hey, the baseball team in this town might be dead, but we got life. We got lots to do.
We might bury them later.
Listen.
Very sad.
You had an emotional blurt.
I'm
I'll talk you down off the ledge. You'll be all right.
No, I don't think you will.
We have got so much to do, and it starts out with something, and this is classic to me. It is something that should have been a little one-day deal. And on this show yesterday, I think we talked about it for 2 segments out of a grand total of 4 hours. But Jim Harbaugh just can't let stuff roll. No. Because there are times I forget what we're dealing with here. We are not dealing with a normal 52-year-old adult. We are dealing with something entirely different. Jim Harbaugh, in response to Jim Rome. Now, mind you, Jim Harbaugh makes $7 million a year. He's the head coach at University of Michigan. Pretty much has everything he wants. I don't know why Jim Harbaugh would even fart in Jim Rome's face or people like us. We don't matter in his world, nor should we. But Jim Harbaugh decided, well, watch my latest trick, and decided to take to Twitter. Now, mind you, I can't imagine Woody Hayes or Bo or I don't understand coaches on Twitter, period.
Mike, Twitter was not around with Woody and Bo.
But could you imagine them being on it if it were?
Probably not.
No. Coach Harbaugh, do you remember the provocateur who went personal with another Big Ten QB and had the tables turned on him? Hashtag deja vu, with the attached video of Jim Rome being pushed over in his chair by Jim Everett.
It's pretty funny.
Right, if you're a 12-year-old girl. But he still did it. Well, Jim Rome decided to follow up, and it was pretty bad in its own right. Roasted. Damn, you got me good. Like 42-13 good. Oops. That's the score of what OSU did to you. Okay, so I may have a different approach to this than many of you. You know my thoughts on all of it. I don't understand why coaches would ever engage with media in this way. I don't understand why coaches would do anything the Harbaugh way. Plenty of college coaches that have won a lot more than him have done exactly 0 of the things Harbaugh's done. So don't tell me it's the only way to do it. But it's America, free country. He can do whatever he wants to do. And a lot of the stuff he does, mind you, let the record show, I happen to agree with. I agreed with satellite cams. I supported him. I thought the NCAA gave him a raw deal. I like some of the things he does. Some of it, not. But as we move forward, here's my issue with this. I am fascinated by how unique the Harbaugh thing is, because Harbaugh and U of M is one of maybe 5 or 6 schools, or if, just for the sake of argument, I'll say 6 to 8 schools, where not just in college football, not just in college basketball, not in the NFL, not in the MLB, not in the NHL, not in the NBA, there are only 6 to 8 college football programs. Or better, more specifically, 6 to 8 places on the planet in American sports you can get away with doing what Harbaugh does. And you'll go, well, what do you mean get away? It's simple. Dude doesn't have a boss, will never be told no, and can act like a complete child. The home fans will laud him. The rest of Earth will loathe him, and there will absolutely be no consequences. Ever. You can't do that in the NFL. I mean, Bill Belichick can be a jerk here and there to the media, but Bill Belichick still has Robert Kraft as a boss. And, bet your ass, Roger Goodell as a boss. Can't do it in the NBA. Can't do it in any sport. And you can't do it at most places. But Michigan is one of the programs where you can get away with it. You have to have an unbelievable, fervent, thirsty, crazy fan base. And you have to have a school desperate enough to empower it. So make no mistake. You're right. Harbaugh's unique. But I would argue Harbaugh's in one of the 5 or 6 places in all of sports where you could get away doing the routine he's doing.
Dude, but how don't you love it? See, Mike, you surprise me.
Well, I didn't say what I liked or hated.
Well,
I like some of the things he does.
Yeah, but
I dislike others.
You don't like this.
No, because I don't understand why any. And I chastised Antonio last year when he did the whole "Hey, let's grab dinner" routine. I don't need coaches on Twitter. I think it's an embarrassment.
You preach every day on these airwaves that you want entertainment. Entertain me. Sports is my entertainment.
Yes.
This is really entertaining. The fact that a coach will go at a radio host because the radio host went at him for acting like a child in a press conference, I think it's great.
Well,
it's entertaining.
Go on a show. He
could do that.
He didn't even tag Jim Rome in the tweet. He brought up something that happened like 25 years ago.
Which, by the way, was stupid from the get-go. I never understood the Chris Jim Everett thing to begin with.
I didn't either. But the whole point would be you don't need to do it. Every day, people in positions of power are attacked without mercy in any number of fields.
But true, don't you have respect for a guy that's willing to not let it go? I mean, that's Jim Harbaugh's way.
No.
Anybody that goes at him, he goes at them.
No.
It's entertaining.
It's not entertaining.
This is what every fan wants.
I disagree with you.
I totally agree. With my own point, thank you. But
right,
no, seriously,
exactly. I don't understand what you're getting at.
I think fans love this.
No, you make $7 million a year. You're a head football coach in Michigan. You're going to have to let a lot of things go.
Sometimes
it's not the way the world works.
You like guys that are not on your level who show that every now and then they're almost regular guys. Like Jim Harbaugh not letting this go, Jim Harbaugh going at Jim Rome, then Jim Rome not letting it go and going back at Jim Harbaugh. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I want another Jim Harbaugh tweet. I like the back and forth. You might be right. He is in one of the places that he has absolute power, and anything he does, he can get away with anything. It doesn't matter. However, this is cool. It's fun. There's nothing going on right now. Let's rock, baby.
All right, so there's the child's opinion. So for the rest of the adults in the crowd, no, I mean, it's a great example. You're not allowed to, you're not going to benefit by going back at people. I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, guys like you and I are nothing, right? We're not, we're not presidential candidates, congressmen, college football coaches. Even you. You can't go back at people. I'm sure people say awful things about you,
all the time.
All right. Does it benefit you to go back, or does it benefit you to keep it moving?
I usually just keep it moving.
Exactly. Why?
However,
because you're an adult.
You're a reveling. But everybody likes the guy, or at least likes to watch the train wreck of a guy going back at a guy. And that's exactly what this is. I mean, I never thought Harbaugh would do it, but he did.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't look good doing it. He got owned.
But if he wins, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. But that's the point is, look, it's simple. Winning is the only thing that matters.
Sure.
Winning the internet or winning the media doesn't mean anything, because if Harbaugh goes out this year and doesn't end up in Indy, he's 2 years over and not nearly what he was sold to be. So just go do your job. Everyone, look, here's the problem. Harbaugh loves the media when the attention's on him, right? He wants all the attention in the world. Then he gets attention he doesn't like, and he cries wolf on it. He had a problem that Jim Rome took him to task. I mean, if you listen to what Jim Rome had to say, you don't have to like what he said. You don't have to fully endorse all of it. But Jim Rome made a pretty good set of points. And I'm no Jim Rome fan. But he made some okay points.
Sure.
Notice
and he did roast them, too.
No one around America agrees with what Harbaugh did at the presser. See, there's the problem. The only people that agree are those that are in the cult. Everybody else, I think Bomani Jones took Harbaugh apart. Feinbaum, forget it. You know what you're going to get there, but he took him apart. I think Dennis Dodd had a deal the other day about it. Nobody agrees with what he did. So what's the big deal? You're Jim Harbaugh. You don't answer to anybody. You're better than all of this. You don't need to get into the mud. And when he did get into the mud here, I think he got waxed. Because not only did Rome take him apart on the air, which, by the way, I don't know why Harbaugh would ever care, but second of all, I'm going to tweet, look what happened to you 22 years ago. And you know what Rome did? Yeah, look what happened to you last November in your own living room. Game over.
I think
it's stupid.
I think Harbaugh is a total narcissist. There's no question. And I think Harbaugh thought it would be cute. He's sitting in his room with his coaches, and he probably thought, Rome was saying this. I'm going to go at Rome. But, Mike, you come off looking like a Spartan Slappy in this, because this is not a big deal. This is a guy that picked up his Twitter keyboard. And
really?
No, I'm just serious.
How do you derive that out of this? Because that seems like the laziest thing you could do.
No, I already told you I like the feud. It entertains me. But this is predictable from you, I feel.
How's that?
To say, oh, my God, he's better than this, because I've heard this same argument. I feel if it was any other coach, and you said your coach, you didn't like it, but if it was a guy in Mississippi or a guy in Florida, I think you would giggle. I think it would entertain you. No. I think you would get some joy out of the back and forth.
You don't know me.
Okay, well, maybe I don't know you.
Yeah, but my point is it's a lazy approach by you. It really is. There's nothing to do with Michigan State. If Mark D'Antonio behaved this way, we'd knock him up and down.
But it's Harbaugh. And you don't like it, and I'm just saying it's predictable. I love it. And listen, maybe that's predictable because I'm a Michigan fan. So you can go back at me, but
I don't need to go at you in any way, shape, or form. If you find it entertaining, that's fine. But
you called me a child,
I think
Michael.
It's childish. I think it's ridiculous for a guy who coaches a proud program like that to be on Twitter acting a fool. And that's all he's done on Twitter. I think it's silly. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry.
It doesn't offend me. I
don't get it.
I love every aspect of this.
I sit here and support what the guy does most of the time. I don't have to like all of it. But then again, you're part of the cult in Ann Arbor. So do your thing.
Yeah, part of the cult. I was the only guy that said anything when he went into Crean's locker room.